Hello everyone. Just want to give you an update on the latest release of the ALMMC material that you can download on Gumroad. I have a version 2.0.0.1 coming out tonight. It includes a couple of fixes that have been bothering me and you guys, and I want to explain them here. So as you can see here, it's a black landscape. It's the regular splash screen that it starts with, but with nothing applied. Well, it is applied. We have the material applied. It is black here, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it here. The latest update includes the paint layers, so you can paint in the materials that you want wherever you want. Now, this is more of a troubleshooting method. So if you load up ALMMC and apply the material to your landscape, and it comes up black like this, there's no materials, no color, nothing. What you can do is go to landscape, paint, doesn't have to be on paint, but I mean on manage or paint, yeah, you're going to want to be on paint, sorry. Go to paint. You have the all material blend here. The only thing this is used for is to apply your materials based on your maps that you used in the material instance here. So it's, as you can see here, it's all set up and it should be working, but if you have a black material being applied, just right click on the all material blend and hit fill layer. That will populate everything like that and you'll be good to go. So to prove that it works, let's go ahead and reopen this. And I'm just covering this up so we have space. It's going to be black in here regardless of what we do, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to move this over to the side. Now we can go ahead and go back to select so we're not getting that paintbrush, and we can turn off specific things. So like the grass mask has changed. I'll explain that in a minute, so I'm not going to worry about that. But the snow up there, we can go ahead and turn that off. We can turn off the rocks if we wanted, like that. And everything is working as intended, even with it set up in the materials. So the paint materials. So it works and functions exactly the same way. You don't have to worry about that. The grass material itself here is being applied into itself, and I had to do it this way to fix the normal map being applied for the grass everywhere. So in the last version, in the older version before this one was released, if you were to go up to your rock or your snow, you would have the grass material normal map being applied to the snow and to the rock on the cliff sides, but it is no longer doing that. So they are separated exactly how they should be. As you can see here, no grass normal maps. And all the materials function the exact same way. So as you get closer, the material changes in scale so it looks nicer closer to the camera. So everything is set up exactly the same way as it was before. Now just the material is not applying that grass normal map everywhere. So that's good. That is one fix down. I have a couple more to go, but that is one of them. So let's go ahead and come back down here and we'll talk about the material paint layers. So before this version of ALMMC came out, in the first version, the very first one that I made, dating back a couple months, I had included paint layers in it so you can paint your materials where you needed them. That was not included in the first update for ALMMC 2, but it is something that I wanted to get implemented and still have everything else functioning without impacting performance, and I got it. So we have our paints here. Ignore this, you don't paint this. This is only to fill in, fill the layer in when you load your landscape up and it's not applying the materials. That's all this is for. Everything else below that can be painted. So we have our grass here. Let's go up a little bit and let's go ahead and paint. It will have to build out these tiles when you first start painting, but after it's done building the tiles out, you can now start painting wherever you want. Alright, so next one we have dirt. It'll have to build out that tile for those materials. But now we can put in our dirt here. We can also do our stone, same thing. We'll have to build that out. That's just what Unreal has to do to get things to work. And as you can see there, rock, Rock is being painted in now, and snow. Snow is being painted in. So it all works together. You can go back to the grass here and you can paint the grass back in if you want. And if you find that you did something that you did not like, you can clear the individual layers if you want, like that. Or you can right click on the all material blend and fill layer, and that will get rid of everything you painted. So be careful when it comes to the painting layering system in Unreal. If you spend 3 hours painting in materials and everything's looking good and you accidentally fill it in, that is not on me and it's not on ALMMC. That is on the Unreal Engine. So keep that in mind while you're painting. But you now have painting options if you wanted to paint your materials in certain places. So not only can you place your materials via masks that you've exported, you can now paint them in wherever you need them. And for a good reason, for an example of why you would want to do that, let's say up here I actually have some rock that's not being covered in snow up here, because my snow mask doesn't cover those little areas. So I can go to the landscape here and I can go to paint, go to snow, and I can start painting in my snow as soon as it decides to select. There we go. Let that build out, and now we can paint in our snow wherever we need it. Now there is this going on, which is a normal thing, but that is actually lighting inside of Unreal, not the mask, not the material. That's Unreal itself, so I can't help you there. But now everything can be painted in as if you were wanting all that top part being covered in snow. See right here, I can paint, but it's not going to go away. So, and Control Z to take a step back if you make a mistake, and there you go. Everything's working. So, a few things going forward. There are a few things I need to get right here. So, one of them is the roughness maps are not working as intended. They are there and they are being implemented, but the strength of them cannot be changed for some reason. I don't know why. I've got to troubleshoot that a little bit, but when I get around to troubleshooting that, I'll let you guys know and we can give it a good test run. Also, I need to implement the rest of the roughness and specular maps for the rest of the materials. The only issue is that I'm getting close to my material limit for this. It's 11 out of 16. So I gotta kind of play around with ways where I can get a good roughness and spec. And a good way to do that is to package the materials together, and I can do that. I just gotta update the materials, but then that would require more work on your guys' side to package your materials together and then change things in the master material, and I don't want that to be a thing. So I don't want you guys to break the material or have to do any additional work outside of your terrain landscape thing. So I have to find ways to work around that, but that's going forward. That'll happen in due time, most likely. Another thing that I need to work on is breaking up tile repetition a little bit more. I'm going to try to implement some texture bombing to see if I can get that to function the way we need it to with triplanar mapping, as well as our masking materials, or our masking setup. So keep all that in mind. Now, to talk about the grass real quick, in order to solve the grass normals from populating everywhere, I had to essentially combine the grass into itself. I don't know, that doesn't make sense immediately right away. My dog's barking, please ignore her. But to do that, I had to take the mask, I had to take the grass, combine it into the grass again, and for some reason that worked, and now the normal maps are not appearing everywhere. So your base material is actually your grass. So if you were to take out all the masks, all the materials, you turn them all to 0, you will end up with grass everywhere by default. So that almost essentially makes your grass mask useless for the time being. So it's not necessarily a step backward, because grass will just appear where grass will appear if you don't have it masked out properly. But you could also apply additional grass somewhere else. So if you wanted a drier grass appearing in different areas, you can now implement a drier grass somewhere if you wanted to. I'll have to make in or build in the additional material function for that, but for the time being, the grass mask essentially won't do anything. Still make it though, still utilize it, but because it's a layering system, your bottom layer will always be grass. I tried making it like a black material and a white material, and it just, for some reason, Unreal Engine did not like it. So we're just gonna have to work around that for the time being. But everything else is functioning exactly the way it should. And if you get your masks situated the way you want them to, and the way they, if you get a mask that essentially hits all the places on your landscape, you can have grass or not have grass. So expect another update where that will have a workaround. Right now it's not really affecting things too much, but if you find that it is, let me know, and I'll try to change that as soon as I can. So a couple updates real quick. I am working on a project that is taking up a lot of my time, so I do try to get to these things as soon as I can, but things are going to get pretty chaotic here. So I'm about to have a kid. It's about another 2 weeks, and I'm expecting a baby in about 2 weeks. I'm also working on this other project. It's a big project with a lot of people involved. It's very high budget. It's one of those things that I've been wanting to work on for a long time, and I still have my full-time job. So there's a lot of things that are taking up my time right now. So I try to get to you guys as soon as I can, but be patient with me. More importantly, you can join the Discord if you want to get a hold of me sooner. I'll answer there faster than I'll answer pretty much anywhere else. So join the Discord if you haven't already. Download the new update if you haven't already. Buy ALMC if you think it'll be useful for you. And I will see you guys in the next video.